The journey begins in this room. I was studying for geography exam, but I get a call from my friend that exam is cancelled. But I get an idea. I go to dad's shop to help him and help him a lot. For 10 days I work along with him. Then COVID begins and the entire world was under lockdown. Some great innovations happen in India. Even celebrities like Hrithik Roshan, Akshay Kumar take part. Our dear Prime Minister unites the nation. Everyone were feeling anxious and alone. Only depression prevailed. But my tension was, where would I jog the next day? Police uncles were already giving many gifts to whoever came out. I was fat since my childhood and became thin only a year ago. I jogged in my house, in the gully, and also to the school. My dad is also a fitness freak and would wet his t-shirt completely with sweat. He's like David Goggins, reborn at 42.
Like thousands of miles, pouring water on yourself. Stay hard.
Even I tried to wet my t-shirt with sweat, but I couldn't, and I could get only a drop of it. Again started to play my favorite games in lockdown since I left them due to preparation of class 10. I read a lot of books like Sadhguru More Than a Life, Adi Yogi, and Death. Got to know about the secrets of human physiology. It's in the book that if Udanavayu increases in your body, then you will be able to levitate, and I also accomplished it. It was a mind-blowing experience. Class 10th, the result had come and I was topper of school. I felt something void for becoming topper of school. But dad was quite happy and he called and said to all of his friends. He forced me to become a doctor, but I was against him. I got overconfident and felt Elon Musk is nothing in front of me. I gathered the books and sat to study class 11th. And after reading a page or two, all overconfident got lost. Came our Shri Alak Pandey sir.
हाँ ठीक है पापा पैसा 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 चाहिए किस लिए सर वो अलग सर ने कोर्स निकाला है लक्ष्य बैच का ट्रिपल लाइन सर पापा ट्रिपल लाइन सर बहुत अच्छे से ट्रिपल लाइन में पढ़ा रहे हैं कहाँ है अलग सर कहाँ कोचिंग है कहाँ है कोचिंग ये विजय समोसे के पास है कहाँ है नहीं पापा वो ऑनलाइन 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 अच्छा मतलब ऑनलाइन पढ़ाएंगे अच्छा मतलब तुम अपने मोबाइल में देख लोगे हाँ पापा मोबाइल पे कंप्यूटर पे हम देख लेंगे अच्छा वो तुमसे मिलेंगे नहीं नहीं पापा और पैसा भी ऐसे ऑनलाइन दे दोगे हाँ पापा ऑनलाइन पैसा दिया जाता है ना आजकल तो ऑनलाइन हो जाता है सब बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं तुम लोग को सुधा सुधा देखो जरा इनको बोल रहे हैं ऑनलाइन पैसा दे देंगे यहीं से ऐसे घर में बैठे बैठे क्लिक करेंगे पैसा चला जाएगा है ना और कह रहे हैं कि वहां से पढ़ाएंगे तुम्हारा पैसा लेके तुमको बेवकूफ बना देंगे नहीं पापा ऐसा नहीं करेंगे बात करो चलो चलो मेरी बात करो अलग से अपने बात करो पापा बात नहीं कर पाएंगे बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं वाह बात भी नहीं करेंगे पैसा भी लेंगे बात भी नहीं करेंगे ऐसा कहाँ होता है हमारे जमाने में ना जो टीचर पढ़ाता था हमारे बाबूजी साथ में जाते थे और उसको डांट के आते थे कि अच्छे से पढ़ाना मास्टर साहब ये तुम्हारे टीचर बात ही नहीं करेंगे सब बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं तुम लोग को और एक दिन तुम्हारा वीडियो नहीं चला एक दिन तुम्हारा वीडियो नहीं चला पापा कल घूमते रहेंगे बढ़ रहे हो चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा नहीं चल रहा बन गए बेवकूफ हो गया बना दिया बेवकूफ खा गए इनका पैसा अरे खा गए इनका पैसा ऑनलाइन वाले होता ही होता है कभी अपने घर में कन्वर्सेशन देखना यू वर्सेस योर डैड वर्सेस हिज डैड ठीक है तो कन्वर्सेशन देखना कैसे चलता है पापा आज मैंने गाड़ी 100 की स्पीड पे चलाई और ऐसे मोड़ दिया फिर पापा बोलेंगे बस बेटा हम अपने जमाने में थे हम गाड़ी 150 की स्पीड पे एक हाथ से चलाते थे एक हाथ से घुमाते थे फिर दादाजी आएंगे बोलेंगे हम तो पैर से चलाते थे गाड़ी हम तो 200 की स्पीड पे गाड़ी चलाते थे अपने पैरों से दादाजी उस टाइम 200 की स्पीड नहीं देते थे गाड़ी में दादा कम से कम अपनी नॉलेज तो सही कर लो कॉन्सेप्ट खराब
I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, jog from home to ground, do push-ups, squats, return home and listen to classes, then do yoga in the afternoon. Even if the afternoon yoga was not good for my body and health, I would still do it because I didn't know that it was harmful for me back then. I mastered few advanced asanas and also learned Bahya Pranayama. Many started calling me mad for doing yoga. I enjoyed learning physics and chemistry from Alak sir.
पहले तुम 11th पढ़े नहीं, फिर तुम 12th पढ़े नहीं, फिर तुम ड्रॉप ईयर पढ़े नहीं, फिर तुम यहाँ आके कह रहे हो जल्दी खत्म करो। ऑपरेशन कैसे करोगे तुम? डॉक्टर कैसे बनोगे? है ऐसे ही डॉक्टर बन जाओगे? ऑपरेशन थिएटर में जाके कहोगे काम करो, बंद कर दो बॉडी। पर सर वो लंग्स तो बाहर रखे थे, रहने दो, कल लगा देंगे आके। आज का हो गया, आज का ऑपरेशन 1.5 घंटे का, बाकी कल करेंगे। सर वो लंग्स है वो बाहर रखा है, उसको डाल दो, फ्रिज में डाल दो, हाँ फ्रीजर में रख दो, कल आगे का ऑपरेशन कल, आज का ऑपरेशन यही बंद करते हैं। हाँ आज बहुत हो गया, मैं नहीं कर पाता दिन में ऑपरेशन। और सर वो हमें सर कह रहा था कि सर वो पेशेंट का सर वो मतलब सर पेशेंट की किडनी आपने जो इधर की उधर की थी सर, वो उसका क्या करना है, रहने दो अभी वैसे ही, उसको पैक कर दो, कल खोल के फिर लेके, आज का ऑपरेशन नहीं। तो ऐसे ही डॉक्टर बनोगे का?
In November, I got an amazing opportunity to enter into a program called Ambassadors of Nature conducted by SACON, which is Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Natural History. I enjoyed doing assignments given by them and living together with nature. These are the pictures which I took during the assignments. Tragedy struck in December and our grandmother passed away. My knowledge of reading death book really helped me in doing the last funeral. We collected her last ashes and her bones and went to Krishna Nadi to mix it in the river. By this time, every 11th student will have some or other problem. Some will not study, some will have love problems, some will not have any friends and will be alone. But I received my SACON Ambassadors of Nature certificate and also few gifts like cap, book and a pendant. Then I went to Tirupati with my uncle to help him in his work and also for sightseeing. I visited the first Penis Shiva idol in India, which is in Gudimallam in Andhra Pradesh. Then I studied like crazy for 3 weeks to get over with my 11th exams. The Raila event emerged where I got the most enthusiastic interactor. Then Lakshya JE began. We got some really funny and awesome
कोई
teachers.
जानेगा नहीं कौन था, ठीक है। अब कोई बच्चा बोलेगा ये अलग सर कर रहे हैं तो मान लेंगे लोग, शक्ल थोड़ा दिखाई दे रही है ठीक है। तो भाई कोई आके ऐसे भी कर दे तो क्या ही बात शक्ल कहाँ दिखाई दे रही, दिखाई दे रही। क्वार्क्स, व्हाट इज क्वार्क्स? बेटा क्वार्क्स इज द वॉइस ऑफ अ डक, ठीक है। क्वार्क क्वार्क, ठीक है। जब बतख ऊपर देख के बोलेगी अप क्वार्क, और जब नीचे देख के बोले तो डाउन क्वार्क, दो क्वार्क होते हैं बेटा।
Applied to SAT and tried to get into Ivy colleges. Another SACON event came to become an environment reporter. I made a report on Hyderabad and aced it. I came first in that contest. I made a small documentary on COVID and how we can overcome it through yoga. And I was awarded national level second prize for this documentary. I watched a lot of calisthenics and bodybuilding videos. Got pumped up. Got to the gym and started lifting weights. Doing quads and calves was my all-time favorite. I learned mind muscle control and was able to balance myself on a ball. Did my highest chest press of 40 kgs and deadlift of 100 kgs. Got immense motivation from Rajwant sir and was all fired up for JEE.
मत देखो क्या दिन है क्या रात है, मत देखो, ठीक है। अगर आपको वो सुकून से सोना है ना एग्जाम वाले दिन, या एग्जाम वाले दिन को जो है आपको आराम से रहना है, ठीक है, वो अगर आपको चाहिए, मत देखो ये 3-4 महीनों की दिन या रात। पागलों के जैसे संकियों के जैसे लग जाओ लिटरली बता रहा हूँ।
Semester 1 marks came and I topped in math. My friend got married at age 18 while I was enjoying RRR in theatres. We had a final farewell of class 12th and I promised that I would not return to school until I achieved something. I gave tuition for 12 boards and I earned around 10,000. MIT and Ivy Leagues kicked me out of their league. I planned to apply for LPU but then I watched KGF.
ఏంట్రా మన దేశం ఇలా అయింది? ఎక్కడికెళ్ళిన రికమెండేషన్, డొనేషన్, డామినేషన్, ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్, లంచ్, నాన్న పేరు పేదోళ్ళ పిల్లలు ఏం పీకాలి? కష్టపడి ఫస్ట్ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చినోడు ఏం పీకాలి? లంచం తీసుకొని ఆఫీసర్ ఏం పీకాలి? కాయ కష్టం చేసే వాళ్ళు ఏం పీకాలి? ఒక్కడే దూసుకొని తల నరికినోడు ఏం పీకాలి? మెరిట్ లో వచ్చినోళ్ళం అమ్మా.
That's it. And even I have to find my merit and took the decision that I will go for a drop year. I gave JEE but drop year was fixed. I made my first YouTube video and tried follow to follow on Instagram and got blocked. I got a whooping 92 percentile on my first JEE attempt and was completely shocked at such percentage. I got 100 marks in 12th boards and planned to go to Akash for drop year. Again it was a fight with the dad for Akash but I eventually won. I deep dived into YouTube and learnt everything about analytics, click-through rate, thumbnail and also got my first 100 subscribers which I made myself by taking other phones. Learned usage of green screen and got a new laptop for editing. Made few shots in Akash and also marketed my YouTube channel in Akash. Second JEE main was a disaster and I got 47 percentile. Continued making shots in Akash and advanced result came. Explored the entire world through thumbnails and also visited police station and court. I started my NoFap journey where the challenge was not to fap until JEE exam was completed. Made few memories in Akash. Then David sir entered my life via Can't Hurt Me.
The story about Goggins that really freaked me out is to qualify for another race which he wanted to do to honor some of his fallen Navy SEAL friends. He first had to do 100 miles in 24 hours. He only had 4 days notice. He was like 285 pounds. He showed up, starts running. He clocks the first 70 miles with a bottle of water, box of crackers, and normal running shoes. At mile 70, he'd broken both of his feet. He was in kidney failure. And so he's sitting in a seat and he's like, okay, I've got 30 miles left to go. He duct tapes his feet so that they'll go numb so that he can't feel the pain. Starts walking. He had 19 miles left. His wife is like, you're not gonna make it. And if he doesn't make it, he can't go do the race to raise money for his fallen friends. So he says, F this, and he has to start running again. On 2 broken feet, peeing blood, with drying on his back. Absolute madness.
You don't know me, son! You don't know me, son! See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being tested. And that road to success is a bumpy ass fucking road. Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Just being in your very presence can make a man go impotent. Is this the message you really want to put out there, Goggins? Fuck yeah, it's the fucking message I want to put out there. That's what effort fucking looks like. Life ain't gonna always hand you some motherfucking nice cream pie. They don't know me, son.
Get it.
They
18.
don't know me, son.
Get it.
They don't know
19.
me, son.
Yeah.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? This morning I got up early, went for a 15-mile run. When I got back home, I got my bat and come to the gym. On the way to the gym, my neighbor sees me. He says, "The question I wanted to ask you, man, for a long time, aren't you afraid of overtraining?" That said, I never thought about it. I was in the competition that was in front of me, and I peeled myself back. I saw the talent they had and the talent I didn't have. And I had to work up to that level. I understand about science and shit. I know all about it. But I tell you right now, sometimes you gotta bump up against science. You know, days off and shit. A lot of people think I'm out here spraying water on myself and shit. You don't run 200-mile fucking races by thousands of miles pouring water on yourself. Stay hard.
And you know, a couple years later when David was working on his book and I heard the book was coming out, I think I saw a pre-release announcement, I texted him and I just said, "Look, I'm really excited to see your book." And he said, "Oh, great, thank you. You know, it'd be great if you'd write something about it, like an endorsement." I said, "Oh, I'd be honored to, I'm happy to." And he said, but I need it tonight. And this was Saturday at, I think it was like 10:30 at night when I texted him. So I sit down and I start writing this thing. And these are short blurbs, but I kind of realized that, you know, you want to get it right. It's David and, you know, my name's next to it and I want to do it justice. So I'm sitting down, I'm working on this thing and I text him, "Look, I'm going to be a few minutes late. No problem. Finally, I send him the thing at like 12:30 at night. He's like, "Oh, bro, thank you. I promise I'll send you a copy, this and that." And I was like, "Grateful, you know, thank you." And then I realized that at that time he was living in New York. And I said, "Wait a second, where are you?" He said, "New York." And I said, "It's 3:30 in the morning." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm going running."
Of course.
And I realized at that point, I was like, okay, you know, it's undisputable. You know, this guy lives the persona that he projects into the world.
Watched Sandeep Maheshwari sir during dinner.
लेकिन आप उसी इंस्टीट्यूट में पढ़ा रहे हो जहां पर आप स्टार्ट किए 5-6 साल पहले पढ़ा रहे थे और जबकि आपको ऑफर्स अच्छे खासे आ रहे होंगे, आई एम 100% श्योर, उससे तो बहुत बेटर आ रहे होंगे फाइनेंशियली।
हाँ, बहुत ही ज्यादा। लेकिन
तो
फिर
क्या रीजन है, आप क्यों नहीं छोड़ते और क्यों कहीं और नहीं जाते? उसके
आप बताइए, आप YouTube चैनल को मोनेटाइज क्यों नहीं करते?
नहले पे धैला।
Met few real competitors like Ishan Sharma. Got fired up by MBA चाय वाला.
ठेला डालने के लिए मैं नहीं बना था, मेरे ईगो तो बहुत ऊपर था। भाई मैं अच्छी फैमिली से हूँ, मैं तो चश्मा पहनता हूँ, मैं आईफोन जानता हूँ, मैं घड़ी जानता हूँ, मेरे को चाय का ठेला क्यों डालना? मेरी शादी करवा दी समझ। अब मेरे को मोहब्बत करना मजबूरी हो गई है, ये तो तलाक हो जाएगा मेरा, और तलाक हो गया तो जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गई। मैं राइट संदीप सर? तो आप ना सोचो मत और किसी की स्टोरी से इंप्रेस भी मत हो। आज MBA चावला है संदीप माहेश्वरी सर, मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको अगला शो हमारा देखना ही नहीं चाहिए, आपको काम करना चाहिए और आप देखना चाहिए अगली बार मैं संदीप सर के बाजू में कब बैठूँ।
Vivek Bindra sir is a mighty bomb.
तोड़ने जरूरी। आप जानते हैं गाय दूध देती है? यस नो? नो, गाय दूध नहीं देती, गाय का दूध निकालना पड़ता है। ये पुराना पैटर्न है भाई। ऐसी कामयाबी सफलता अपने आप नहीं मिलती है, वो भी निकालनी पड़ती है। तो ये लाइफ में कुछ पाने के लिए हमारे को कुछ खोना पड़ता है। वुड यू एग्री विद मी? यस नो? नो, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ करना पड़ता है, खोना नहीं पड़ता है। तो ये हमारे बड़े पुराने पैटर्न है जी, क्योंकि डर के आगे नहीं होती है जीत, डर के आगे दर्द होता है। उसके बाद सीखे तो फिर जीत होती है। पर चक्कर क्या है, हमारे पुराने पैटर्न बड़े सारे बने हुए हैं और वही पुराने पैटर्न के चक्कर में कि जितनी चादर उतना पैर पसारो। क्यों पसारो? डबल बेड की चादर लाओ, नई चादर लाओ, पैर बाहर निकालो, आगे बढ़ो।
I would sit and study all day long, every day. Helped a lot of guys on YouTube. David sir was my teacher.
And knocks her. She falls down. He grabs her by her hair and drags her down the stairs by her hair. So I go on the stairs and I jump on his back and he beat the living hell out of me. I got to go back and see what made him to make me so why am I fucked up. I actually drive back to Buffalo, New York to see my dad. And I go back as an older man now. I'm in my 20s. I'm not a kid anymore. And I realized he was the same man that he was. somewhere in your fucking life, something fucked you up, and you didn't deal with it. And so you put that shit on me, my mom, and everybody around you. I'm gonna deal with my shit.
Holding the pull-up record, 4,000 pull-ups in 17 hours.
He's also an ultra-marathon runner with more than 60 races.
Everybody thinks I'm Superman. I had to tell them the truth. I had to develop a mindset that was indestructible. I had to armor plate my mind.
Listen to biography of Elon Musk.
I did not have a sort of happy childhood, to be frank. It was quite rough. But I read a lot of books. I read lots and lots of books. And so that gradually I sort of understood more from the books that I was reading and watched a lot of movies. But it took me a while to understand things that most people intuitively understand.
And also Michelle Obama.
Level-headed, a human, while fighting for those big dreams and believing you can do big things.
Because I see the humanity in everyone. I don't see titles, positions. I don't see, none of that matters. Because look, at this stage in my life, what I tell young people, I've probably been at every powerful table there is, right? I've met kings and queens. I've been at G summits. All the people are the same. Everybody is carrying around their fear. They are fighting to be seen and heard. I've seen the country, and everybody is fighting for the same thing. We may not believe in the same politics. We may not pray to the same God. But in the end, we're just trying to live a decent life, raise our kids. That's what I see when I connect with people. It's the only way I know how to be me. And when you have to operate at a high level, I think it's easier just to be completely yourself. Then you don't have to keep up with the lie or the facade that you've kept up. But I also think it's a responsibility to people with a platform. You know, in particular, young people are watching us. And a lot of times they glamorize the lives of the famous. And they don't understand that we feel anxiety and guilt and remorse and fear. So when they experience those same natural emotions, they feel like something is wrong. Because we don't tend to share the hard stuff. I don't think it helps anyone to put on a brave face and to pretend to be something that you're not. And I never want to be that.
You've never been that person. So
Got to meet some really great people like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate.
Kept emasculating men, that men who said, to hell with that, I'd rather be a monster, would become extremely popular. Now, Andrew Tate is emblematic of that in many ways because he's genuinely tough. He's a fighter. That's the shadow speaking in some way. Well, if you have to choose between being depressed and anxious, being timid and never going out, or listening to someone like Andrew Tate who says, get the hell out there and take the world, that's better. There's going to be a bit of a monster that needs to call to you to say, gird up your loins and get the hell out there in the world.
Men make up 50% of the population, but 80% of suicides. In the US, fathers were awarded sole custody in only 16% of custody cases. 70% of homeless people are men. 1 in 7 men in the US have experienced severe physical violence from an intimate partner, and it never gets mentioned ever. In Ukraine, as we talk, all men are not allowed to leave the country. They have to go and die in a ditch. This goes on and on. The human metrics. Men fail against women. We can't even come along and say, you know what, we're sad, we're struggling, without a woman coming along and saying, but you know what, I don't think enough of us are CEOs. Why can't you just accept us as human and give us some sympathy or give a shit about us for 5 minutes? But they actually hate us.
What do you want to be in life?
So look in the mirror, look into your own eyes and decide, am I a fucking loser or am I a winner?
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Come on, you bitch. You're scared coward.
I'm a winner. I'm going to win. A really interesting experiment with monkeys. They put 5 monkeys in a room, and at the top of the room there was a banana. And when one monkey tried to climb up to get the banana, they'd turn on the hose and splash all the monkeys with ice cold water. And what would happen over time is when a monkey went to climb the rope to get the banana, other monkeys would jump and pull him down and hit. Then they'd swap one of the monkeys out. The new monkey would attempt to climb. Now all 4 monkeys would attack, pull him back down and kick his ass. He knows if he climbs the rope to get the banana, he gets attacked. He doesn't know he gets splashed with water. After a certain amount of weeks, they change another monkey and another monkey and another monkey. Over time, you have 5 brand new monkeys monkeys who have never been splashed with water, but nobody goes to climb the rope because if they do, they're attacked by all the other monkeys, and nobody even knows why. There are already X amount of people on the planet who ignore their own eyes and repeat what they are told. They've begun.
People are changing. Even influencers, even people who I would have detested years ago are making like fitness journeys and fitness transformations and stuff. And I think that's the effect you're having on the world.
But I remember there was some famous influencers. There was that James Charles and that guy who puts the makeup on, blonde guy, I don't know his name. They're all super famous and they were everywhere. And now I don't see them anywhere. Nobody cares about that anymore, which is good. It's good for the world. I think the world is growing in consciousness and we're no longer just buying into this absolute satanic crap. I think the things that used to be cool, people are waking up and going, no, this is not. It's cooler if I actually train really hard and make a bunch of money and pray to God and look after my family.
Found many similarities between David Goggins and Sadhguru about suffering of human life.
Through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do. And that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. Like your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day, so then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it.
Tell me one thing people are not suffering. Tell me one thing. Well, if they are poor, they suffer their poverty. You make them rich, they suffer the taxes. If they're not educated, they suffer that. Put them to school, they suffer that. They're not married, they suffer that. Get them married, oh… Don't tell me. No children, they suffer that. Give them children, daily suffering. So it looks like you're suffering every aspect of life. So we'll offer you death. Oh, they'll suffer that. So suffering is not because of life situation. Suffering is because you do not know how to manage yourself. You do not know how to manage your own mind, your emotion, your energy, your very life. You do not know how to manage.
One day, unintentionally, I met this person, Sri Madhukar Nath Ji, on Ranveer Allahabadiya podcast.
And I was sleeping. I woke up slightly okay. Somebody came in. I was astonished. There was a huge purry kind of bird standing there. First doubt was that it's a bear, but no, it was standing like a human being. And then it took something and put it into my mouth. It was a bitter thing. I couldn't spit it out. I swallowed it. And it ran off. Babaji told me later that it was an Ate, and he said, you would have died with this fever. He said, they are good people, they are not what people think and fear. He brought a herbal medicine and stuffed it into your mouth, otherwise you would have died. There are such living creatures in the remote parts of mountains, which we don't believe because we don't see them so often.
His book made me go crazy.
Then I went to Lakshman Jula. There behind the mountain, there was a yogi, Nepalese yogi.
This is Rishikesh.
Beyond Rishikesh. So I went there. This yogi said, look, I can do this. Sun le kuch mat bolna. Look, my hands are here. He showed like this. My hands are here. Look here. So he said, here, like this. Then he did like this. Then he produced one Rudra. And he said, ye maine… Then he said, ye kahan se aaya? So then I can give it to you, it won't disappear. You can keep it forever, put it in your neck. Do you want to put it in your neck? Like this, what you have?
Oh my God.
If you want, then I will make a hole for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My God. For the audio listeners, Rudraksh got created out of thin air. I'm a little speechless, so sorry.
No.
Okay.
Since you asked me about spiritual training, this was part of the training. And people fall for it.
Wow.
I got completely frustrated with Akash and left it. I made a leap of faith to be on my own and study for JEE. The result was overwhelming. I scored a 98.3 in my first attempt and took JEE Ultimate 2.0 for second attempt and advance. I became a complete animal by studying for JEE, and hair outgrew me. I don't know what others might have thought when they looked at me in exam. And one more podcast arrived of Pratham Mittal with Ranveer Allahabadiya about Masters Union.
छान मारो, उनकी वेबसाइट्स पे जाके उनकी पूरी कहानी छान मारो, उनके CEOs कौन है, उनके लीडरशिप कौन है, उनका HR मैनेजर कौन है, वो सब जान मार. That's number 1. Number 2, start building relationships in those companies. LinkedIn पे मैसेज करो, Twitter पे ट्वीट करो, उनकी YouTube वीडियोस पे कमेंट करो, उस कंपनी के साथ रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट करो. Number 3, एक CV होती है, which is your introduction to the company. मेरी एक स्टूडेंट है, उसको नेटफ्लिक्स में जॉब चाहिए थी. उसने अपनी एक पूरी की पूरी CV क्रिएट करी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ नेटफ्लिक्स शो. मतलब जो एपिसोड 1 था वो उसका प्रीवियस वर्क एक्सपीरियंस था, एपिसोड 2 उसका था कॉलेज का एक्सपीरियंस, एपिसोड 3 उसका कोई कंपटीशन जिसमें उसने पार्टिसिपेट किया था. उसने एक छोटी सी सीरीज बना दी नेटफ्लिक्स पे, नेटफ्लिक्स जैसी. ताकि वो अपने आप को नेटफ्लिक्स पे अपनी जॉब के लिए पिच कर सके। वो कंपनी आपको इग्नोर नहीं कर पाएगी। You become irresistible to the companies, and that is the hack to a good job.
Made my business pitch ready and sent it to Masters Union.
But for getting monetized, they should have at least 10,000 followers, 3-star or more rating. We have very strict security standards so that no student can be misguided by any third party. As per Career 360 statistics, 8.6 lakh students appeared for GE this year. The most number of students.
Got pretty confident with Masters Union and started studying some different subjects like Aghora.
In Samadhi, in this temple that collapsed in the year 1701 or something like that.
Really?
And he had 2 rows of teeth. I saw this many times. He's the only person I've ever run across who had a certificate from the Archaeological Survey of India. And they were excavating the temple and then they saw, oh my God, here's this sadhu, but he's in Samadhi. We can't bring him down. So back at that time, they had special people in Puri who knew how to bring people down from Samadhi. So they brought him down out of Samadhi and then there he was. He suddenly was back in his body again.
This book made me a complete mad. Pause the video and read these 2 pages at your own risk. The rejection letter from Masters Union shook me to the roots and made me feel disgusted. Didn't study anything for advance, just gave it and started off to my village. Met Hanumanji in my village. Started inner engineering program in my village. After the program, I went to Isha, Coimbatore in train. It's a wonderful place with lots of greenery and Mother Nature. The Save Soil board just reminds us of the soil. Dream of 3 years of meeting Adiyogi came true. There were many yogis and yoginis who were doing immense practice of pradikshanas around the temple in heavy rain. After returning, I got allotted into NIT Warangal Biotechnology. Then one day I saw this advertisement of PWIOI by Vishwa sir and didn't think a second and just applied it. The institute was situated in Brigade Towers in Bangalore and I went and met Sudhanshu sir, who is the CEO of PW Skills and iNeuron. Then I went to Kamakya Mata, Assam, Guwahati and saw some real brutality of life. The skulls of buffaloes and oxes. There was also a lot of greenery in Assam and it was very peaceful. It was time for PWIOI and me and my kaka left home to Bangalore. The hostel was small, 3-in-1, not so comfortable, but we got adjusted. Orientation was normal and met few wonderful teachers like Krish sir and Vishwa Mohan sir himself. It's already been a month since arriving at PWIOI and many things have happened. But let's see guys where these 4 years are gonna take us. Thank you.